Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting. This is our first meeting of October. Today is Thursday, October 3, 2024, and we are meeting once more at OCTC, Blandford Lecture Hall. Commissioner Conder, would you lead us in the prayer of reflection, please?
Thank you, Judge. Is that okay?
Yes.
There we go. We've discussed this before, so tonight's prayer is what might be a conversation with God. I asked God to take away my bad habits. God said no. It is not for me to take away your bad habits, but for you to give them up. I asked God to grant me patience. Once again, God said no. Patience is a byproduct of turbulating times. It isn't granted, it is earned. I asked God to give me happiness. God said no. I give you blessings. Happiness is up to you. I asked God to spare me pain. God said no. Suffering draws you apart from worldly cares and brings you closer to me. I asked God to make my spirit grow, and God said no. You must grow on your own, but I will prune you and make you fruitful. I asked for all things that I might enjoy in life, and finally God said, no, I will give you life so that you may enjoy all things. Then I asked God to help me. Help me love others as much as He loves me. God said, finally you get the idea. Love as I have loved each and every one of you. Amen. Amen. And now the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Brooke?
1. Consideration for presentation. A. Manufacturing Month Proclamation.
It's my turn to read the proclamation this meeting. So, Daviess County, Kentucky Proclamation, Office of the County Judge Executive. Whereas manufacturing is a vital part of our local, state, and national economy, providing good paying jobs and contributing to economic growth and innovation. And whereas the manufacturing sector is a cornerstone of Owensboro and Daviess County, Kentucky, employing thousands of skilled workers and supporting numerous businesses throughout the region. And whereas manufacturing companies in Owensboro and Daviess County are leaders in their industries, producing a wide range of goods, from automotive parts and food products to high-tech equipment and consumer goods. And whereas Manufacturing Month provides an opportunity to celebrate the significant role that manufacturers play in our community, recognize their contributions, and promote opportunities within the industry to students, job seekers, and the public. And whereas the Greater Owensboro Economic Development Corporation, along with local manufacturers, educators, and community organizations, are committed to fostering a skilled workforce that meets the needs of our local manufacturers and enhances the quality of life for all citizens. And whereas Manufacturing Month aims to highlight the importance of manufacturing to the economy, raise awareness of the career opportunities available in manufacturing, and encourage future generations to pursue careers in this dynamic and evolving sector. Now therefore, I, Charlie Casson, Daviess County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 as Manufacturing Month in Owensboro, Kentucky, and Daviess County, and encourage all citizens to join in recognizing and supporting our local manufacturers, promoting economic growth, and fostering a skilled workforce for the future. Presented in Daviess County, Kentucky, this third day of October 2024, signed and sealed, Charlie Casson, Daviess County Judge Executive. And I think we have a couple folks here from Kimberly-Clark. Would like to accept this, Mike Arrington and Luke McCain, and also Claude Bacon. Guys, let's go get our pictures taken, and then they can take a minute to speak. Gentlemen, we're going to get our pictures taken as a group up here. And I'm going to just give that to you. All right, we'll hold it together.
Yeah, maybe I'll get in there together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come a little closer.
You gotta get, you gotta.
Yeah, just squeeze in here, guys.
There we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And y'all can take your turns to speak, okay? Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Right over here, yes. If you would, say your name and address for the record, please.
Name and what else?
Address. You can give Kimberly Clark's if you like.
Thank you, Larry. All right, my name, can everybody hear me?
You need to be that close, I think.
Can you hear me okay?
You want him to use mine?
Testing.
I don't know you did. Okay.
It's on.
Check. Is that better? There we go.
There we go.
All right, my name is Luke McCain, 601 Innovative Way, Owensboro, Kentucky. And I'm the operations leader at Kimberly-Clark. So I'm an Owensboro native, so born and raised here. And just from a personal note, before I get to some of the prepared remarks, I'm very appreciative of Daviess County for being a friendly county for companies like this to set up shop, because it's created an opportunity for me to come back and raise my family and do the same, which is, really a great thing for me. I'm around my family, and I know a lot of young people in this community are experiencing the same thing. So thank you to all of you for making sure these companies stay here and bringing more companies to the area. So on behalf of Kimberly-Clark, we just, we want to continue to celebrate National Manufacturing Month with you all, and we want to express our appreciation for a 30-year partnership with Daviess County and the Commonwealth. The supportive business climate and welcoming quality of life for our employees has contributed to years of success supplying the region with world-class hygiene products such as Kleenex facial tissue, Scott bath tissue, and Scott paper hand towels. Looking to the future, it's going to be increasingly competitive for manufacturers, and our success in Owensboro depends on the strong workforce development programs being created here today and continued community partnerships. On behalf of our employees and company, thank you to the county and Owensboro area for this recognition and your great support.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Yeah, thank you all.
You don't have to stay, but you can stay for his comments, then you can leave.
Yeah, so just a quick history on Manufacturing Month. There we go. No, you're good. Yeah.
I think we need this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there we go.
Prove you were here, yes.
Just a quick history on manufacturing, National Manufacturing Day and Month, and 63 slides. So just bear with me here for a few minutes. No, just kidding. On October 2nd, 2014, former President Barack Obama made a historic proclamation designating the first Friday of October as National Manufacturing Day and the entire month of October as National Manufacturing Month. In his announcement, President Obama emphasized that when our manufacturing base is strong, our entire economy is strong. Manufacturing is a cornerstone of our local economy, providing a substantial portion of jobs and driving growth in our region. Over 7,100 people are employed in the manufacturing sector right here in Daviess County. This industry is vital to the livelihoods of so many families and plays a key role in community prosperity. In 2023, we saw an impressive growth in the number of manufacturing establishments in the county, rising from 104 in 2013 to 125 today. This expansion reflects the strength and resilience of our local industry. As the first quarter of 2024, manufacturing in Daviess County is projected to make $4 billion in annual purchases from suppliers across the United States, with $1 billion of that being spent right here at home in Daviess County businesses. Our local manufacturers are not just keeping pace with national trends, they're leading the way by embracing our cutting-edge technologies, including automation and advanced manufacturing processes. They are ensuring that Daviess County remains competitive and at the forefront of innovation. But the impact of manufacturing goes beyond just that of economic contributions. Our manufacturers are deeply invested in this community, giving back through charitable initiatives and forming partnerships that enhance the quality of life for us all. As we celebrate Manufacturing Month, let's take pride in the vital role this sector plays in our community, in our workforce, and in the heart of our community. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you again, gentlemen, for being with us. Next item, Brooke.
B, Memorandum of Understanding between the Daviess County Detention Center and the Daviess County Sheriff's Office.
Mr. Johnson.
This MOU is to define the commitment of K-9 unit mutual aid assistance between the Detention Center and Sheriff's Office. It is necessary for these agencies to have an agreement on file when offering such operational assistance with K-9 units for compliance purposes. It is included as presentation in the fiscal court meeting to read the document into the permanent record. There is no action for fiscal court to take.
Thank you. Brooke, next item.
Two, consideration for approval. A, minutes of the September 19th, 2024 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. We've all had the minutes for a few days to review in advance. Do we hear any corrections, deletions, or changes? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
B, all claims for all departments.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. We've got all the bills due and payable before us. Do we have any questions for Mr. Johnson? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
C, accept proposal of Business Communication Solutions, LLC, for 9 access control doors for the Daviess County Courthouse.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
This proposal is for securing 9 doors within the courthouse in the amount of $19,932.42. All are related to the current renovation project. 3 doors will be in the clerk's office, with the remaining 6 in fiscal court administration. IT department head Wayne Swift is recommending this proposal. Business Communication Solutions installed and is the sole supporter of the card access system, which was previously awarded to them via a competitive bid process. It is a budgeted project, and I see no issues.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Johnson?
No.
Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
D, audit engagement letter with the State Auditor of Public Accounts.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
Each year, the State Auditor's Office either declines to conduct our annual audit, which would give us approval to select a CPA firm to do so, or they choose to conduct our audit themselves. The state has chosen to conduct the fiscal year 24 audit. This is the resultant engagement letter with the State Auditor of Public Accounts. Though the audit process is starting later in the year than usual, the state anticipates completion in time for us to comply with our bond disclosure requirements. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions for Mr. Johnson?
No.
Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
E, Litter Abatement Program 2025 Grant Agreement.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
This is the Litter Abatement Program grant funding that is typically used for our Cash for Trash program. The funding must be used for direct expenses incurred during calendar year 2025 that are associated with anti-litter control programs for litter cleanup on public roads and to meet the requirements established in KRS 224.43 through 345. The amount of grant funding that we are eligible to receive will not be determined until after November 1 of '24. This is an annual exercise. I would recommend approval.
Any questions for Mr. Johnson?
No.
Any questions from the public? I just want to say to all those who have participated in the past when we've had the Cash for Trash, all the nonprofits, appreciate your interest in helping to clean up our community. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
F, Resolution 18, 2024, amend and restated supplemental grant assistance program between the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and the Daviess County Fiscal Court for the Daviess County Fiscal Court Hydrants Project.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
During Fiscal Court Session 2-6 of '24, Fiscal Court approved a grant assistance agreement with the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, or KIA, in the amount of $1,174,154 for the Daviess County Fiscal Court Hydrants Project. Some of those funds, along with remaining funds from the Jack Hinton Road Water Main Project, were reallocated by GRAD and Fire Department Management to other water hydrant projects in the community after receiving approval of their recommendations from Judge Castlin. The grant is now in the amount of $1,018,443. Now that these reallocations are finalized, KIA requires that Fiscal Court approve the grant with a new resolution. It should be noted that such reallocations are typical for KIA grants, especially when there are numerous related KIA projects in the community. GRAD, Fire Department Management, Legal, and myself have reviewed it, and we see no issues.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions for Mr. Johnson? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
G, Memorandum of Agreement between the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Cabinet for Health and Family Services, Department for Behavioral Health, Developmental and Intellectual Disabilities, and Daviess County Fiscal Court to establish an agreement to support operations of the Friends of Sinners Men's Facility.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
In House Bill 1 of the 2024 regular session, $1 million was appropriated to Daviess County to support operations of the Friends of Sinners Men's Facility. This agreement is for Fiscal Court to receive those funds and pay expenses on behalf of Friends of Sinners until those funds are exhausted. These funds are restricted to the renovation of the men's facility as specified in Section 2.01 of the agreement. If approved, my staff will handle all reporting and compliance with the agreement until the project is complete. I see no issues.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions or comments from the commission? Commissioner Conder?
Thank you, Judge. I do notice that Jordan Wilson with Friends of Sinners is in the audience. Great work. You guys continue to lift up all the guys out there every day struggling with those bad habits I referenced earlier. Once you have them, they're most of the time always there. But by the grace of God goes you. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any questions or comments from the public? Come ahead, sir. You need to step to the mic. Take this one. State your name and address for the record, please.
Jordan Wilson, 731 Jackson Street, Owensboro, Kentucky, 42301. Excuse me, 03. I first want to say thank you. This is incredible. It's monumental for Friends of Sinners. I noticed on some documentation that the letter stated it was for 320 Clay Street. It's for 731 Jackson Street. That is the location of our new men's facility. And my question would be, once all the paperwork is in order, the cost breakdown, et cetera, is taken care of, when can we start expecting to pay our contractors, et cetera?
Mr. Johnson, do you have a clue?
Once the paperwork is completed, We will have to have an agreement with Friends of Sinners Men's Facility to pass on most of these requirements to you. We will pay those expenses on your behalf immediately after it's executed.
Thank you. And I'll just echo what Commissioner Conder said. You all do great work, and thank you all. So, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
H, fiscal court year 2024-2025, AmeriCorps Host Agency Agreement benefiting the Homeless Coalition of Ohio Valley.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
For the past several years, Fiscal Court has sponsored the position of an AmeriCorps worker for the Homeless Coalition of Ohio Valley, or HCOV, as the entity's agency funding. This worker is housed at St. Benedict's Shelter and is supervised by Harry Pedigo on behalf of HCOV. This program has proven beneficial for the coalition. It provides them an employee at a cost of $5,750. HCOV's agency funding application that included only this expense was approved and included in the fiscal year 24-25 budget. This agreement is for the program year September 1, 24 through August 31 of 25. Fiscal Court serves as the sponsoring fiscal agent, meaning the agreement must be approved in order for payment to be processed. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions for Mr. Johnson? Any questions from the public? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I, contract modification for FEMA DR 4358 Hazard Mitigation Program.
Motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
Kentucky Emergency Management is asking all counties with projects funded through this agreement to approve and sign this contract modification, which only extends the contract's end date to June 30 of 2034. This memorandum of agreement is simply a pool of funds available for projects eligible for the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. The only project we have currently under this MOA is the Risk Assessment Add-on for the Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan, which GRAD is working to close out. The GRAD Risk Assessment Add-on can be found on their website. This modification is necessary to finalize the project and to be able to pursue additional HMGP eligible projects through these funds until they exhaust. I see no issues.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
J, change order 01 for bid number 2324-06, asbestos abatement project.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and second. Mr. Johnson?
As the abatement has continued for the second floor of the courthouse in preparation for the HVAC system replacement, the contractor has incurred a section that will require a substantial amount of involvement above what was originally anticipated. The contractor has issued this change order to cover that area and specific work per the state's approved procedures in the amount of $228,500. Our abatement consultant has reviewed the change order, and after issuing reports and opinions in consultation with the State Department of Air Quality, they find the pricing to be reasonable given the extent of work involved. We have sufficient budgeted contingency funds for this project to cover the expense, so it will have no impact on the assumptions of the fiscal year 24-25 budget. I would recommend approval.
Any questions for Mr. Johnson?
No.
Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
K, change order 04 for bid number 2324-67, courthouse renovation project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
The abatement work to the ceiling in the courtroom of the Daviess County Courthouse resulted in more surface to be taken out than originally anticipated. The deeper cuts that were made into the ceiling as mandated by inspectors has rendered the original repair path a non-option. As recommended by Project Manager Bickett, this change order is to replaster the ceiling, which is the most comprehensive repair considering the ceiling lighting and diffusers that are scheduled for installation as part of our bid contract. The change order is in the amount of $29,865. I see no issues.
Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
L, award bid number 2425-23, municipal snow plow equipment.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
And a motion second. Ms. Sturgeon?
Yes, Judge, we received about 5 bids and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by IMCO for 1 new snowplow and 1 new spreader, and the total amount of $41,138.06. This is the budget replacement of aging equipment currently in our inventory. IMCO is a known vendor. There were no exceptions to the specifications, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the commissioners? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
M, award bid number 2425-24, 2 new walking floor trailers.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon?
We received 3 bids and recommend award to the best evaluated bid submitted by Vomac Truck and Sales and Service for 2 new walking floor trailers for the Grimes Avenue Transfer Station in the total net amount of $209,400. This is the budget replacement of 2 aging units currently in inventory. Vomac Truck Sales and Service is a known vendor, and there were no exceptions to the specifications. I would recommend approval.
Any questions for Ms. Sturgeon?
No.
Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
N, award bid number 2425-26, 4 new mobile litter catch systems.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon?
We received 2 bids and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by Meta Technologies for 4 new mobile litter catch systems in the total amount of $31,000. This is a budgeted addition to the current inventory. These units will be used to control litter around the working face of the landfill. Currently, landfill staff uses permanent fencing. These units will offer more flexibility when operating on the working face. There were no exceptions to the specification, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
O, award bid number 2425-29, new truck weighing scales.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon?
We received 3 bids and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by Premier Scales and Systems for new truck weighing scales at the Grimes Avenue Transfer Station in the total amount of $90,620. This is the budgeted replacement of scales currently in use at the transfer station. Premier Scales and Systems is a known vendor. There were no exceptions to the specifications, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
Any questions from the public? Yes, sir.
I have a question about something else. Should I wait for the end?
Yes, sir. It'll be at the end. Yes, sir. Anyone else? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
P, award bid number 2425-34, 1 new compact loader.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon?
We received 9 bids and recommend award to the best evaluated bid submitted by Boyd Caterpillar for 1 new compact loader for the West Davis County landfill in the amount of $79,225. This is the budget replacement of an aging unit currently in inventory and will be covered in full by the Kentucky Pride Fund composting grant agreement approved in the May 22nd, 2024 fiscal court session. Boyd Cat is a known vendor. There were no exceptions to the specification, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the commissioners? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Q, award bid number 2425-36, law enforcement standard firearms.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon?
We received 2 bids and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by Mark's Guns in the estimated total bid price of $21,310 for law enforcement standard firearms for the Davis County Detention Center. The Law Enforcement Protection Program, or LEPP, agreement was approved in the August 22nd, 2024 fiscal court session and will cover this purchase in full. This is the resultant bid. Please note that the estimated total bid price is based on the purchase of 65 firearms as permitted by the grant agreement. The final count will be determined by Davis County Detention Center management within the limits of the grant. There were no exceptions to the specification, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the commissioners? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
R, award bid number 2425-37, bulk ammunition.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon?
We received 7 bids and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by BOTAC Inc. in the estimated total bid price of $6,720 for bulk ammunition for the Daviess County Detention Center. This is also the resultant bid, a resultant bid of the LEPP grant, which will cover this purchase in full. Please note that the estimated total bid price is based on the purchase of 32,000 rounds of ammunition as permitted by the grant agreement. The final count will be determined by Daviess County Detention Center management within the limits of the grant. There were no exceptions to the specification, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the commissioners? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
S, award bid number 2425-38, law enforcement standard firearm holsters.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon?
We received 3 bids and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by Advance Outdoors, Inc. in the estimated total bid price of $6,077.40 for law enforcement standard firearm holsters for the Daviess County Detention Center. Please note that the estimated total bid price of the recommended bidder is based on the purchase of 50 standard holsters and 15 holsters with Streamlight TLR-1 attachments. The final count will be determined by Daviess County Detention Center management based on the number of firearms purchased. This is a budget addition to inventory. Advance Outdoors Equipment Incorporated is a known vendor. There were no exceptions to the specification, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the commissioners? No. Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
T, award RFQ number 2425-42, 2 new 40 cubic yard roll-off containers.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Ms. Sturgeon?
We received 3 quotes and recommend award to the best evaluated quote submitted by Waste Quip for 2 new 40 cubic yard roll-off containers for the Grimes Avenue Transfer Station in the total amount of $10,774. This is the budget addition to our current inventory to expand the convenience center of the transfer station. There were no exceptions to the specification, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
U, promote Charles Taylor to heavy equipment operator effective September 30th of 2024.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. I want to congratulate Mr. Taylor on his promotion and thank him for continuing to work for us. Any commissioners have any comments?
I want to echo what you said, Judge. Congratulations to Mr. Taylor on this. Well deserved.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
V, promote Clint Reynolds to heavy equipment operator effective September 30th of 2024.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to congratulate Mr. Reynolds on his promotion and would thank him for continuing to be part of our team. Any commissioners?
Yes, Judge, same. Congratulations to Clint, and glad he's able to have that opportunity and to be here with Daviess County.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
W, hire A.J. Smith as service technician effective September 23rd of 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to congratulate Mr. Smith on his hire and thank him for his interest in working for Daviess County Fiscal Court. Any commissioners have any comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
X, accept the resignation of Kimberly Matthews effective September 28th of 2024.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to thank Ms. Matthews for time that she spent with us and wish her well. Any commissioners have any comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Y, accept the resignation of Dennis Fisher effective September 13th of 2024.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to wish Mr. Fisher, thank him for his time with us and wish him well. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
3, consideration for discussion. A, other business to be brought before the Daviess County Fiscal Court. There is none that I'm aware of. B, first reading of KLC A.106.02, 2024, 09-2024, Budget Amendment Number 2.
This is a first reading, so we won't have a vote. We won't have a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson.
The county is required to amend the budget to reflect the receipt and expenditure of unanticipated revenues that were not part of the original budget document. Daviess County Fiscal Court was unaware of the Friends of Sinners project appropriated in House Bill 1 of the 2024 regular session to Daviess County while compiling the fiscal year 24-25 budget. Friends of Sinners Men's Facility had $1 million allocated for the purpose of renovating the facility to improve and expand all living and common spaces. The county will receive and expend the funds on their behalf. This is the first reading, with the second reading and adoption to be held on October 17th, 24.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions from the commissioners? Any questions from the public? Hearing none. Next item, Brooke.
C, Public Comments.
This is the part of the meeting where we invite the public to come forward and state your name and address for the record. You cannot speak to any item that's on the agenda, only items that are not on the agenda. So,
Just make sure you put your name
Thank
and
you.
address.
My name is Timothy Whitaker, Utica, Kentucky. Public health is a passion of mine. I want to feel good. I want everybody to feel good. My goal is to feel good all the time. I recently found information about toxic mercury fillings in teeth. So last week, I had them removed. And my voice is a little trembling. I heard that if you tell the truth, it might be hard to do it, but you do it anyway, even if your voice trembles. So this is difficult for me to do here. Anyway, so I got that filling removed. It was a great decision. I feel a lot better. And if you don't believe me, there's testimonials from people online who've also gone through this nightmare of toxic mercury poisoning. Now, the American Dental Association, their stance is that mercury is safe. But I disagree. And I think Europe was very right in banning the use of mercury in dental fillings. Now, I have some requests from the court here. First of all, I think really we should declare a medical emergency. Second, I will request the court to ban the use of toxic mercury fillings in Daviess County. Now, I'd like to see it worldwide, but you know, you got to start somewhere. And the third thing is I would like to see some type of relief for people who can't afford it, because it's expensive to have these dental procedures done. So if you could do some type of free dental clinic or work with dentists to provide some type of voucher, or maybe we could do a fundraiser, or at least just inform the public about this matter, because I think it's a shame that this is being overlooked. And I think that if, I know from experience that if people have these fillings and you get them removed, you're gonna feel a lot better. So that's all I got.
Mr. Whitaker, thank you for bringing it to our attention. I'll have the staff research it and see what we might be able to do, if anything.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Anyone else wishes to speak to any item that was not on the agenda? Again, you need to state your name and address for the record, please.
Nick Adamson. My address is 4466 Highway 554, Utica. And I can't get this to work. There we go. Came today to
Mike,
speak.
if you don't mind, move the mic up closer.
Okay. Came today to speak about my family's experience here in Daviess County. On May 10th, 2022, a Daviess County Sheriff's Office deputy illegally entered my home and unlawfully arrested me for child abuse. My charges were dismissed my first court date. They did this to help DCBS gain entry to my home. Two deputies had come prior with DCBS to intimidate us. One yelled in my wife's face. We still told them no. DCBS took my daughter the night I spent in jail and gave her to her homeless mom. I had a court order keeping her away from them unless visits were supervised. The court order was ignored by everyone in family court and DCBS. I told everyone who was bound by law to stop this, and my warnings were ignored. DCBS had my daughter living in a garage and told me she was fine. My daughter was exposed to drugs and alcohol during this time, and now she didn't want to come home. I lost custody to her mom, who tested positive for meth the same day in a court drug test. I lost custody to a homeless mom. I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I went in to ask questions and file a complaint, and I was basically told to take it up in court. And there has to be changes made. They shouldn't be coming with DCBS to intimidate people. I mean, it's a direct violation of 18 U.S.C. 242. And I mean, I was just completely ignored. And my daughter's life has been destroyed by this. My family has been destroyed. And, you know, the last 2 years I've been dealing with this every single day. And it hurts. I didn't get to see my daughter graduate. She dropped out of school because of this. I was planning on sending her, or trying to talk her into coming here. I mean, the complaints process needs to be changed. Instead of having to go in and talk to somebody, the complaint forms need to be outside in the hallway or somewhere easily accessible. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
It's horrible what happened. No family should have to go through this. No kids should have to go through this.
Right.
Somebody's going to have to crack down on DCBS. I filed complaints with everybody I should have. Everybody ignored it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me speak.
Yes, sir. Anyone else wish to speak to any item that's not on the agenda? See no other takers?
D, comments by Daviess County Fiscal Court.
Commissioner Marksberry.
Thank you, Judge. Couple of things. Dogs Playing for Life is going on at the animal shelter this week, and that is some training for the staff and the volunteers that help the dogs actually get to go out in our new playpens, play together in play groups. So they're assessing all the dogs that we have at the shelter right now. I didn't realize they were going to do that, so that's pretty phenomenal. They're taking them all out, you know, one at a time and introducing them to other dogs to see who can get along together so they can continue this. This will be going on through Saturday, and anyone that's interested in volunteering at the shelter. You can go out and just observe if you would like. It's from, I think, 9 to 12:30, and then they break for lunch and come back at 1 or 1:30 to 4:30 the rest of this week and Saturday. The other thing is all adult dogs and adult cats are free to adopt right now. I think it's through October 15th. And this is from a Fiscal Pet grant that we received, or funding. So it's a great time if you want to add a pet to your family. We added a new kitten to our family. He wasn't free, but we were kind of taken with him, and it's quite an experience. It's a very big commitment, though, to have a pet, so I just want to encourage everyone to, adopt if you can, but please remember, this is a lifelong commitment, the life of the pet. Most of them can live for 12 to 17 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Caslen.
I don't have anything, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Conder.
Thank you, Judge. Just as a reminder, Election Day is coming soon, but the last day to register to vote is October 7th. If you haven't done so, your vote will make a difference. It always does, and it always will. Fall break is coming soon. Everyone be safe, especially if you're going to be going to Florida. What has transpired to those individuals in Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, our hearts and prayers goes out to them. Losing everything, literally losing everything, is dramatic, and I hope that they get repair and homes can be restored. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have just a couple things. So first of all, I want to thank those, recognize those again who participated in the Cash for Trash program that we're in on this meeting's claims. Heritage Christian School had two groups, Mary Carrico Elementary School, Mosleyville Volunteer Fire Department. They covered 24 miles. They picked up 168 bags of trash, 1,120 pounds of trash. So thank you to each of them. Just to let everybody know, this is October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and probably everybody in this room or anyone that's watching knows someone who has had cancer or breast cancer, and there's screenings. I would encourage you to just go online and see what they recommend, and follow that advice. The other thing I wanted to mention is I had someone call me today, and he was frustrated that he had gotten a letter from after the new flood maps that he had. His home was shown as being in the flood zone. He knew that it wasn't a flood problem. He's been, I thought he told me his house has been there since before the 37 flood, and it didn't flood then. He knows it doesn't belong in the floodplain. So he paid extra money to a surveyor to do back when I had to do it, it was called a flood elevation certificate. And Dirk, I've called you and shared it with you. If you don't mind coming up and just telling folks if what they might be able to do. Not everyone's going to be able to pull this off, but to be able to get their homes out of the flood zone.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Can you hear me?
No.
No.
I can hear you, but.
Hear me? Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. So with FEMA just released the latest floodplain maps. These are the 2024 maps. They became effective July 31st, 2024. If your property's in the flood zone and it's crossing your property, that kind of triggers the floodplain, that you have to pay the floodplain insurance. So what citizens can do is they can hire a private professional land surveyor or professional engineer to go out and survey your property and see what elevation your house is actually sitting on. And per that measurement, if it's above the floodplain, then you can then go through with FEMA. The surveyor engineer can walk you through it and get a letter of map amendment. And then once that's approved through FEMA, then your house will be taken out of the floodplain. So you can go through that process. The engineer or surveyor will walk any citizen through that, and that would ultimately save you on the flood insurance if you don't choose not to use it.
Thank you. And for those, for how do I want to word this? I know if you don't have a mortgage on your home, then you don't have to worry about it. It's not something that's going to cost you any money. But you might want to do it even then, because the day you get ready to sell your home, it's going to impact the value you can probably get when you try to sell your home. Just a thought for those who might be interested. So, thank you.
You're welcome, Charlie.
Brooke, next item.
4, consideration for approval. A, enter into closed session per KRS 61.810. 1G, discussions between the public agency and a representative of a business entity and discussions concerning a specific proposal. If open discussions would jeopardize the siting, retention, expansion, or upgrading of the business. No action is expected to be taken on KRS 61.8101G.
Before I take a motion and a second on this, I just want, the motion needs to read you've already read all that.
That's what they said you have to read. Everything in yellow.
Well, then I'm going to make the motion. I'm going to just make the motion to enter into closed session per KRS 61810, parentheses 1, parentheses B and G, deliberations on the future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency, but only when publicity would be likely to affect the value of a specific piece of property to be acquired for public use or sold by a public agency, and discussions between a public agency and a representative of a business entity, and discussions concerning a specific proposal, if open discussions would jeopardize the siting, retention, expansion, and upgrading of the business. No action is expected to be taken on KRS 61810, 1B and G. Do I hear a second?
Second.
So I got a motion and a second. Just for the public, the reason I reread that, the second one indicates that there are actually 2 entities that we'll be having a closed session with. We'll have one, that person will be excused, and then we'll have a second, but we will not come back out here between the 2. And we won't come back out here except to simply adjourn. And all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.